Hi, it's T. Michelle Birdsong, Eve, mother of all living, daughter of the sun. I'm going to do a video about RSSB, Radhaswami Satsang Bias, Science of the Soul. And the quote of the day is, "We must build dikes of courage to hold back the flood of fear." And Martin Luther King Jr. said that. He has being as Lou Ranzinger, son of Melanie L. Spear. It's an important message from the Master. This is the Master, Jesus Christ, the Buddha, being as Govinda Singh Dillon. It says, Radhaswami Satsang Bias, RSSB, along with its international affiliates, is a spiritual organization based on the teachings of all religions and dedicated to a process of inner development under the guidance of a spiritual teacher. In the Indian language, Radhaswami means Lord of the Soul. Satsang describes a group that seeks truth, and Beas refers to the town near which the main center is located in northern India. There are a number of other contemporary movements that use the name Radhaswami, but Radhaswami Satsang Bias is not associated with any of them. Radhaswami Satsang Bias was established in India in 1891 and gradually began spreading to other countries. Today, RSSB holds meetings in more than 90 countries worldwide. It is a non-profit organization with no affiliation to any political or commercial organizations. The basis of every religion is spirituality. With the passage of time and changing social values, the basic spiritual teachings often become embellished with extra rules and rituals and eventually take the shape of a formal religion. Despite its extensive outreach activities, RSSB tries to maintain the integrity of its spiritual core and preserve the simplicity of its teachings. At the heart of the RSSB teachings is the belief that there is a spiritual purpose to human life, to experience the divinity of God who resides in all of us. It is through this experience that we will realize the truth of the concept that there is only one God, and we are all expressions of His love. Central to the RSSB teachings is a spiritual teacher who explains the purpose of life. And guides and instructs members in a method of spirituality based on a daily meditation practice. The present teacher is you're looking at him, picture of him, is Baba Govinda Singh, who lives at the main center in northern India. By performing the meditation practice according to the teacher's instructions, individuals can realize the presence of God within themselves. It is a solitary practice that is done in the quiet of one's own home. Members commit themselves to a way of life that supports spiritual growth while carrying out their responsibilities to family, friends, and society. There are no rituals, ceremonies, hierarchies, or mandatory contributions, nor are there compulsory gatherings. Members need not give up their cultural identity or religious preference to follow this path. To build on the primary spiritual practice of meditation, members are vegetarian, abstain from alcohol, tobacco, and recreational drugs, and are expected to lead a life of high moral values. A vegetarian diet encourages respect and empathy for all life and acknowledges that there is a debt to be paid for taking any life unnecessarily. Abstaining from intoxicants improves one's ability to concentrate and calms the mind during meditation. Members are encouraged to be self-supporting and not be a burden on society. They are free to make their own choices in life and maintain any cultural or religious affiliations they choose. RSSB does not involve itself in the personal lives of its members. Inherent to the Society's philosophy is the importance of seva, meaning selfless service or volunteerism. Voluntary service is the backbone of all activities connected with RSSB. All administrative functions, construction of Indian and international centers, feeding of the hundreds of thousands of visitors who visit the headquarters in India, writing and translating books and magazines explaining the teachings, are done by members on a voluntary basis. Mahatma Gandhi embodied the importance of service in his statement, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." It is believed that through service, one loses one's sense of self-importance and becomes humble. That is the foundation of a spiritual life. Note from Eve. There is a 5-minute video representation which gives an overview of RSSB and its sister organization, Science of the Soul. Okay, now this is another story. In April 2018, Guru Nanak, Saint Tulsi Sahib, Eve, Mother of all living, soulmate of Adam, as being, as T. Michelle Birdsong, suffered humiliation at the hands of satsangis. Adam, king of the earth, is being Michael Bublé. 2 hours ago, he posted a video on YouTube. #StayHomeCanada. Satsangis. Eve has been self-home quarantined for most of 3+ years. Although RSSB is not defined as a religion, the organization's fundamental teachings are not in direct conflict with other world faiths. How many followers does RSSB have? 4 million followers. It's home to 8,000 devotees of the Master, Govinda Singh Dhillon. Many call him a god in human form. I call him a god in human form. Who am I? Eve, mother of all living, daughter of the sun. He held a meeting, satsang, at, I was decoding the word satsang. Satsang, that means meeting, and I was decoding it. C-A-T at, S for C, A-N-G for Angel Gabriel, G for Gabriel, son of the sun. Now this is Angel Gabriel, son of the sun, Jesus Christ, the Buddha, being as Govinda Singh Dhillon. Okay. And also he has being as St. Nicholas, Santa Claus, and St. Valentine. The satsangis who have been doing, this is going back to T. Michelle Birdsong being humiliated that day. The satsangis who have been doing seva, volunteering for many years, okay, years decoded. I, ears, R. I, R, ears. I and ears, R. That's light and sound, right? Okay, so anyway, they reacted to seeing T. Michelle. Let me start again. The satsangis, disciples, who have been doing seva, volunteering for many years, reacted to seeing T. Michelle as though she was their enemy, or as though she didn't exist, or as though she was stupid. Daphne Nathanson, whose loft in Chinatown was the meeting place for satsangis for years, and he spoke the teachings there in the loft and often at Sunday satsang meetings. For 40 plus years, he had ample time to lose his sense of self-importance, but apparently his seva had increased his sense of self-importance, his ego. But when he saw T. Michelle, another satsangi, whom he had known also for 40-some years, she thought of him and his wives. First Norma Nathanson, and second wife after his divorce, Susan Nathanson. Both satsangis are Baba Govinda Singh disciples. Okay, well, I didn't finish writing it. I'll just tell it to you what happened. So Daffy saw me and rolled his eyes at me. And I kind of, it didn't register. I mean, that couldn't be happening. You know, what is the meaning of that? And then his wife, and we were all very close for all these years. I thought we were close. His wife walked past me without saying hello, even though I haven't been around for years because I was homeless. And, you know, in and out of homeless shelters and on the street and like that. So, and then his other wife, his current wife, Susan, walked past me as though I didn't exist. And this was in Jersey, where we were getting a bus to go to North Carolina, Fayetteville, North Carolina, to see Babaji, Govinda Singh. And then on the bus, well, that was pretty much uneventful, you know. It was a 12-hour ride, and just tried to sleep and rest a little bit. And so when we got to North Carolina, there was a place to eat and a place to wash up. So I ate, and then I stood in line. Finally, it was my turn. I went in and washed up. So then I went to my seat, and Nancy, Nancy Bush Gross, who had driven from Queens to New Jersey, and I rode with her, was sitting with me. And she said, did you wash? And I thought, well, sure I did, you know. And then I thought to myself, why did she ask? You know, do I smell? I mean, what's going on? Because she was snappy, not friendly, you know. And that was uncharacteristic, too, because we had been friends, or I thought we had been friends. And then I saw Linda Zatelli. She was doing seva, and like an usher. And she didn't look at me. And then I saw Manira Smith. Now, Manira came over and was talking to Nancy and saying that Babaji said those who came on the bus can come to the front. But she didn't look at me, so I didn't think she was talking to me. And this was a friend, a close friend, you know. This is very, what am I, in the Twilight Zone? What's going on? I thought I'll go to Satsang, I'll get a hug and a kiss from Babaji, and I'll get hugs and comfort for what I've been through, you know, from my friends, you know. And then and then Fountain. Now Fountain, I had introduced him to the path, you know, and he used to come to my house and listen to my husband, Edwin Birdsong, play music. I'm trying to say 15 minutes. I don't have much more time. So anyhow, I said, could you give this to Babaji? Because Fountain works for Babaji, you know, volunteers. He does a technical aspect of Babaji's, you know, meetings. And Fountain is chief of technology at ABC or CBS News. So anyway, I knew him well, and he said, well, if I do that for you, if I give this package to Babaji for you, I'll have to do it for everybody. And I thought, what's he talking about? It's a small package, and he knows me, and what is this? This is, he said, and then he changed his mind, and he said, I'll send the man over to get the package, make sure he'll, because I want to do right by you and make sure it has proper handling. And oh, it was just unreal. And of course he never came back, and then no man ever came for the package. So anyway, satsang, Babaji appeared, and I forgot about these fools. I forgot about these people who are supposed to be my friends, you know. And I forgot all about them, and I got into Babaji. And that's all I cared about. And I was delirious with happiness, you know, to see him and to hear him, and to be in the same room with him. It was exhilarating, you know. And so when it was over, I discovered that because he was sitting on the stage and he had 3 eyes, and nobody knew why he had 3 eyes in his hand, you know, not like swinging or something, you know. And I found out later they were my eyes, you know, and one was my 3rd eye. All of the eyes were open. And so my 3rd eye is open. This is wonderful, you know. And I also found out that he had married me, and in effect, you know, and we had made a baby. And the baby's name is Aria Elizabeth Michelle. And she's in my womb. And she'll be born when she's ready to be born. And so this happened. And then he told me too, Babaji told me, he's in my head also, you know, his spirit form is in my head. So he told me to go outside and look up at the sun when I got back to New York. So I did. And the sun, you know, the same thing, you know, I was just so overjoyed and so happy. I never been so happy in my life as I was to look in the eye of the sun. And we made a baby as well. He pulled out his big supreme beam, put it between my legs, and somehow created a baby. But the babies are made in the minds and the hearts, you know. They're conceived that way. And the woman makes a selection, you know. She sees the perfect person for her. and then the message is sent from her heart to her brain, and from the brain to the genitals, and the baby's conceived. And that's how that works. And then I think there's a proximity father that does the physical part of it. I think that's necessary. I'm not sure about that. So I have twins in my womb, and I'm very happy about it. The boy's name is Giancarlo Arturo, and I thought that Babaji had closed down the satsang. This was 2018, and I think he closed down the satsang, and because he said nobody's going to ego trip on his watch, you know, and these people, my husband, Michael John Spear, and my daughter, Robin Michelle Birdsong, agreed that I was these people's worst nightmare, because they thought, if that can happen to me, because they knew me when I was doing fine, when I was prosperous, you know, and I had missing my teeth, and my clothes looked shabby. They knew me when I was, you know, not poor. So I was their worst nightmare. If it could happen to me, it could happen to them. But you see, they weren't supposed to be thinking about them.